You are on your own now, except for you. I think we tend to dismiss that. Just if we go back to the island, take into the consideration that if you are gonna survive on the island, the best chance that you have. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shelsy. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the phrase, no one is coming to save you. Have you guys ever heard of that phrase? No one is coming to save you. And I've heard this phrase in a much harsher tone. This phrase of no one is coming to save you, what does that mean? It's this harsh reality that imagine that you are in Greek. And Greek is known to have islands. It's like Lost. You are on an island. You figured out that no one is coming to save you. There is no boat coming. There's an expectation, obviously, when you first got to the island that, oh, we're only here for a little while. Someone's going to come and, you know, we're gonna get off the island. You're wandering on this island by yourself. You come to the conclusion where you look around and all you see is blue waters and you just think no one is coming. I don't think anyone's coming. So you are on your own. So now I'm on my own. So then what do I do? Because this entire time you had this expectation that someone was gonna come on the island, but no one's coming. But you are on this island. You and a brain of yours that I like to say that it's a powerful software. Your brain is a powerful software that needs updating every moment of every day that you can, learning things that will serve you, things of survival, things of knowledge, things of skills. So you're alone on this island and now you start to think, well, there's animals you need to eat, and there's water. There's no water, only but the water that's surrounding you. So we have to come up with a plan because we can't sit here and wait that some boat is gonna come. That when we realize that no one is coming and we're on this island, imagine you are on this island and you are on the outer skirts of the island. You are just close to the waters. You're just waiting, hoping that someone will come. And you're there hours and hours on end, but no one comes. That's what happens when there's an expectation for someone to come rescue us or for someone to give us comfort. When the one that can give us comfort, the one that can give you great comfort is you and your creator. And what ends up happening that makes it so worse is the expectation. The expectation crushes. When you have an expectation on someone, it crushes because that expectation that you have on them will fail you. It will disappoint you. And that is the expectation that you had on that person. Not that they were going to meet they were going to meet what your needs were. That was your expectation that you set up for yourself on them. But it's inevitable to say that you have an expectation on me, I will fail you. If you have your standard or your bar high for me, or your standard or your bar high for your boyfriend, or your standard or your bar high for whatever thing it is that you have the expectation, most likely that thing will disappoint you because the foundation on which you're building it is not a strong foundation. No one's coming to save you. It's a harsher saying, and I just found out about this new saying. And this is the new saying. This is a much cleaner version. You are on your own now, except for you. You are on your own now, except for you. And I think we tend to dismiss that. Actually take into consideration, just if we go back to the island, take into the consideration that no one is coming to save you. And I feel like if we look at this saying, no one's coming to save you, it's really talking about cut the expectation that you have on others. Stop always trying to have the opinion, wanting to have an opinion from someone else. Start asking yourself the question, what would you say to do in that moment? What do you decide? What do you like? What do you want to do? How do you envision your life? How is your dream to unravel itself? What are the choices that you have to make? What is the job that you want to pick? What is the spouse that you want to go after? It's you. Start actually taking into consideration your opinions instead of others. When the phrase is saying, no one's coming to save you, cut the bull, I don't think that phrase says that. If we go to this other phrase that I mentioned to you, which was, you are on your own now, except for you. How does that look into my life? How do I start to apply that? Because we can hear it, but there's a difference between hearing it and actually doing it. Perhaps you may not want to initiate the doing it part. The doing it for you will come about from disappointment. The heartbreak, pain will be much greater, that it will be the drive, it will be the motivator, it will be the point where you're just over it. Perhaps you have placed such an expectation in others to come for you and they've all disappointed, but it's just you now. We need to look at this differently. We need to make the choices different, and putting this into perspective is, okay, it can start by expectation. right? It can start with, where are my expectations? Are they on me or are they on someone else? What comes into play so much is understanding. So no one is coming to save you. You're on your own now except for you. Cutting the expectation would mean they're not going to understand you, and that's okay. This could be a parent, this could be a boyfriend, this could be whoever, you know, you wish for them to understand, but ultimately, in your growth phase, they're not going to understand, and they don't have to understand, and that's okay. If you guys are new to the channel, there's just times where I've just discussed, like, you need to have this backbone, and it's like, you know what? We're going to be talking about building that backbone, and building that backbone for self is start considering your opinions into of a first top priority than other people. Self-soothing. The opposite of self-soothing is attachment. No one was there, and so now it's you. And so you have to talk to yourself to get through this. You're not relying on someone else to come and comfort you. And that can be a bit difficult for some of you guys, and that can be a bit difficult in general, because as humans, we long for a human connection, but there are those points where there is not going to be no one there. And for the one to self-soothe, it's like, how would you speak to yourself? How would you comfort yourself? You know? And you're like, why would I comfort myself? Or like, it's a bit difficult. I'm like, we'll make it easy. It's all your perspective and your perception on how you approach things, right? Let's say an attachment person coming into this self-soothing, or you want to get out of this attachment style. Self-soothing would be a bit difficult because you have been so used to having someone else kind of comfort you, having the words of others to kind of calm you down, or just others but self. So self-soothing really comes about to self, and how self is coming into play. In my last video, I mentioned about this story about a girl who she was taking a break from her boyfriend. I was telling her about inner work, and briefly, because we didn't have that much time, I was telling her a little bit about inner work. When it comes to discussing inner work, there's a lot that goes into it. It's not this superficial self-love, self-worth thing. And she just immediately thought, yeah, I've done about self-worth. I've done about self-worth and stuff. And I was like, why did I low-key cringe? I was like, no, it's not. It's more than the self-worth. It's more than the... She's like, yeah, I've done that. It doesn't work. I was like, yeah, I know, because self-worth is like, inner work is like, you're going down into the root. We're looking at the symptoms, and then we're kind of, what are the emotional layers, and then just going down to the root. She was like, yeah, I've done self-worth. I've done it. And I was like, it hasn't really worked out. I was like, that's not what I said. But my point was, she had neglected herself, considering being in a relationship with herself. That now, when the time came for her to actually work on herself, because both her and her partner had agreed, let's step apart, let's have some time to work on ourselves, she was finding it of a struggle to do that, because that part of her was untapped. That part of her was just darkened. That part of, and there's that part of you that you don't think it's there. It's this aspect of self-soothing where we can start, it's possible to go from attachment to self-soothing, knowing very, very well it's just you now. You are on the island, so it's just you. So how will you self-soothe? One thing I've realized, guys, if we're gonna be up close and personal, I realized across the years I've lived, we all have traits that we can better improve ourselves. 100%. Definitely. And the things that sometimes we fall short in, that we fell with ourselves, like sometimes I can catch myself, I'm like, you're being a bit impatient, which I didn't consider myself to be impatient, and I won't consider myself to be impatient, but to identify of the things of, I'm not good at this, and boy, I'm catching myself falling into this, or boy, I'm catching myself going back with him, or thinking of him, or, whatever it may be. But it's actually taking into that consideration of, it's just you now. And it shouldn't be heartbreaking and feeling like, oh, it's just me. No, that's actually a beautiful thing. You're in a relationship with yourself. You're exploring, you're tapping into this where it's like a new lens, a new way of looking. It's not just, oh, I'm in a relationship with myself. Obviously, you're not saying that. You're like, hey, Shelsy, who are you talking to? I'm in a relationship with myself. If you guys are new, you guys are gonna get to know my weird self if I put this into the video. When you feel lonely, start to consider what you have to say, what you would do. Because there's situations where you're going to be lonely. There's situations where people are not going to understand you. There's situations where the expectations of others that you had disappointed you. So how would you go about those? That is it for this video. If you guys enjoyed the brief topics that we discussed, expectation, opinion, self-soothing, actually take into consideration, these are obviously topics that we are going to dive deeper into in different individual videos. But if you did like this video and you made it till the end, I would appreciate that you guys hit that subscribe button and actually like the video. That would help me to actually better see exactly what is it that you guys are struggling with, and also in ways where I can better improve my content. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Double dip.